An Olympic medal winner, former head of one of the most popular American families, and someone who wasn't afraid to publicly announce their sex change. You've probably guessed who we're talking about. Watch the video to find out about Caitlyn Jenner's life and its most controversial moments. Long before the Kardashian family empire ever existed, Bruce Jenner was starting his sports career at Mount Kisco School in New York. Bruce had been struggling with challenges regarding his identity from a very young age.
I would say I've always been very confused with my gender identity since I was this big. I look at it this way.
In an interview, Bruce recalls wearing his mother and sister's clothes. He didn't know why he was doing it, but it just felt right for him. You have no idea. You don't know what's up. And there's no place to get any information, said Jenner about growing up in the 50s and having no internet back then. He thought that the only right way was to hide what he was feeling and keep his mouth shut. His struggle with dyslexia made studying at school even harder, but even though he wasn't good enough at writing essays or math, he excelled greatly in sports. Putting his books aside and grabbing hold of a football, Bruce put an incredible amount of effort into his training. Jenner was just opening the doors to his bright future in college when the horrible incident happened that caused a serious knee injury and took him out of the game. For some, it might have meant the end of a career, but Bruce wasn't going to give up. His college coach convinced him to train for the Olympic decathlon. He had no idea that he was going to become one of the most beloved American athletes of the 70s. At the Olympic Games in Canada, Bruce won the gold medal and set a new world record for decathlon. Moreover, Jenner made the game memorable for all the Americans by taking a victory lap with the national flag. It became a gesture that has been repeated at all Olympic Games since then. After his victory, Bruce stayed in the public eye by acting in some movies, but this quickly faded away. I don't socialize a lot, okay? I'm not like an outgoing person. I don't socialize a lot. I've never fit in, he said. He vanished from the media while trying to figure himself out and decided to talk to his older sister Pam. She recalls finding out about her brother's struggles. When I drove home from that dinner that night, I cried the whole way. I could hardly see the road for the tears. I guess the tears were for me, but they were for him mostly, the pain that he experienced as a child. But Pam kept his secret and they never spoke about it again for 30 years. Bruce had been married twice by that time, saying that both of his wives knew about his real identity. Bruce says that he often thought about committing suicide, but each time decided on wanting to know how the story ends. In the late 80s, he was finally coming closer to becoming his true self. He started taking hormones for 5 years, had electrolysis to remove his facial hair, and a nose job done. Being stuck in the middle, lonely and depressed Jenner met Kris Kardashian when she was in the middle of her divorce with Robert Kardashian. Kris is now the professional momager of the clan, but back in the day, she was managing her second husband's career. In an interview, she opened up about how she met Bruce when he had only $200 in his bank account. Nevertheless, I fell in love with him 150%, she said. Alongside revitalizing Bruce's public image and making him a household name again, Kris launched the family TV reality show. We witnessed Bruce being a good father to his stepchildren Khloe, Kim, and Kourtney, and his own kids Kylie and Kendall. But now Caitlyn says she regrets distancing from her kids from her previous marriages when the show started. The gender confusion was also a cause of his absence as a father in his children's lives. In her book, Caitlyn writes, "If God refuses to make peace with me, this will be the primary reason." She also admitted that dating Kris was part of a cover-up from the rumors about dressing up in women's clothes. After 7 years of life on the show, he had enough of the lies and pretending. Bruce lives a lie. She is not a lie. I just can't do it anymore. Bruce finally spoke up, as he said, giving his last interview as Bruce. The world was shocked with the news that Bruce was not only divorced from Kris, but that he had gender reassignment surgery. Bruce had been fighting and struggling all his life, and he had to make one more leap and come out as Caitlyn Jenner. She posted on her Twitter, "I'm so happy after such a long struggle to be living my true self. Welcome to the world, Caitlyn. Can't wait for you to get to know her, me." Caitlyn says it has been the most rewarding 2.5 years of her life since she had the surgery. She's still the same person she used to be, but just more comfortable with herself. However, she didn't tell the Kardashian family about her decision to have the surgery. Check out her reaction to the Kardashian family's trust issues in the interview with Piers Morgan.
And
you didn't trust them?
And what?
You didn't trust them?
Of course not. Yeah. course I didn't trust him, yeah.
His former wife and kids first found out about Caitlyn's stunning transformation from the media and her book, Caitlyn Jenner, The Secrets of My Life. Though the family members were supportive of Caitlyn, the book started a fiery quarrel between them. In fact, the book caused many controversies in the family. While Caitlyn says it's impossible to trust the Kardashians, Kris states the facts in the book are made up.
Through the book, Kris knew. Kris knew before I even made love to her. I'm like, what?
Do you think the family deserved to know what was going on with Caitlyn before it became public? Or would they really have leaked it to the press themselves? Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. In the book, Jenner says Kris saw him dressed as a woman but didn't say much about it. Caitlyn added that Kris knew about her hormone injections, and that should have raised some questions in the first place. Though the love and support Caitlyn was getting from friends, family, and the media changed with indignation after a series of unsuccessful events starting from 2015. Caitlyn, who was still known as Bruce at that time, got involved in a fatal car crash where a woman was killed. Jenner blamed the paparazzi, saying that she was visually distracted and that their behavior did contribute to the cause of an accident, where seconds and split seconds mattered. Jenner later appeared on The Ellen Show and got herself into some controversies because of her statement on same-sex marriages.
And you still have a judgment about gay people and marriage and she goes,
Crazy.
well, she said if the word marriage is that important, and I was like, it is because that's the word.
Clearly, Ellen wasn't the only one who was shocked with Caitlyn's statement. That same year, Caitlyn went under fire for her Woman of the Year acceptance speech. Many people, including actress Rose McGowan, who went vocal, got offended by Caitlyn, saying that the hardest part about being a woman is figuring out what to wear. Seems like Caitlyn is still figuring out her new identity. In an interview with Piers Morgan, Jenner said she doubts she'll find new love as a woman. "I'm not gay. I've never been with a guy," said Caitlyn. "I was never attracted to guys. The sexuality was a different issue." Caitlyn said that life is busy, and she's happy with her successful career and children. But here we are in 2018, and Caitlyn Jenner is dating 21-year-old transgender model Sophia Hutchins. They've often been spotted going out for dinners. Caitlyn and Sophia are rumored to be engaged. Well, we'll wait for a while and see what happens. Whether you love or hate Caitlyn Jenner, you can't deny that she's a strong individual.
Caitlyn Jenner is happy.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this story, subscribe to our channel to get the best videos about your favorite celebs.